Hi, please enjoy this new video. You probably picture a multi-billion-dollar business founded by a wealthy person when I utter the name Alibaba. Surprisingly, the opposite is quite much the case. A 35-year-old former English teacher founded his own business in 1999. This man had often failed in life, yet he had also always managed to succeed. Jack Ma was his name. The business he founded would later transform the e-commerce industry. Alibaba would rise to become one of the most valuable businesses in the world, giving Jack Ma a net worth of more than $35 billion. The business would also produce 10 more billionaires and hire over 100,000 people. However, Jack Ma's ascent to the top wasn't quick or easy. In this video, we'll examine Alibaba's development into the e-commerce behemoth we know it to be today and provide an estimate of its size. Inventors who got their start young come to mind when you think of company founders. At the age of 21, Bill Gates left Harvard and founded Microsoft. A similar course was taken by Mark Zuckerberg, who left Harvard at age 20 to found Facebook. At age 28, Elon Musk sold his first business for more than $300 million. Jack Ma, on the other hand, submitted 11 applications to Harvard. Every single time, he was turned down. He applied for over 30 jobs after graduating from college but was unsuccessful with every single one of them. In a subsequent, well-known interview, he recalled that he had made one KFC employment application. 23 of the 24 applications were chosen, and that one person who didn't have the opportunity was the eventual founder of Alibaba. He ultimately decided to accept a $12 per month position teaching English as a result, but he didn't feel at home here. His entrepreneurial mentality would prevent him from spending too much time in a classroom. A classmate introduced him to the internet in 1995. But when he entered beer into his search engine, something intriguing happened. He didn't find any Chinese beer. He only discovered beers from other countries. He soon understood that China was cut off from the internet and, by extension, the rest of the world. This motivated him to attempt to introduce this cutting-edge technology to China. So he established an online translation business. But as this withered, Jack Ma's enthusiasm for the internet persisted. Soon after, he and a friend founded China Pages, a website in the style of a Yellow Pages that connects Chinese companies to global interests. This would, regrettably, be a failure as well. Jack Ma, however, appeared to have endured through every setback and rejection he experienced in life. In the living room of his apartment, 17 of Jack Ma's friends and classmates would be present 7 years later, in 1999. Before most people had access to the internet, he would talk about how it connected buyers and sellers. He discussed how the heavyweights of Silicon Valley will lose to the Chinese mentality in the Chinese market. The initial corporate meeting featured this motivational speech, and as a result, Alibaba was founded. After hearing their leader's motivational speech, the team worked arduously for 6 months to develop their product, an e-commerce platform for business to business. No public announcements or advertisements. Jack Ma desired a distraction-free workspace for the staff. 6 months later, they had raised $25 million from Goldman Sachs and SoftBank, and the company was up and running. In a few years, Alibaba planned to go public, but a crisis would soon arise that was beyond their control. Many fledgling internet firms had their futures clouded by the internet stock meltdown. The internet, just a passing fad. Investors started to pull their money out, and many businesses perished from starvation. However, Alibaba, led by Jack Ma, was able to thrive almost entirely thanks to its founder's unwavering resolve. Jack Ma repeatedly warned his colleagues that they would have difficulty. He is cited as noting that today is difficult. It gets worse tomorrow. There will be sunshine the next day. The squad persisted after the collision and emerged from it with only the minimal necessities. But Jack determined the business needs to work harder and not simply enjoy the sunshine. eBay had acquired a sizable share in EachNet, which at the time was the leader in Chinese e-commerce during this time. Because of this, Jack Ma, Alibaba's main rival, launched war on the Silicon Valley behemoth. The media paid notice to this. With a David versus Goliath undertone, eBay quickly paid $150 million to fully acquire EachNet and started making adjustments to the website to include it into the eBay ecosystem. For eBay, this was a deadly error. As you can see, eBay was unfamiliar with the Chinese market. Each net's elements that the Western executives deemed unnecessary and overly adorable were deleted. But they had no idea how much these features were treasured by Chinese users. On the other side, Alibaba concentrated on making the experience distinctively Chinese. To go along with their brand new Taobao marketplace, they developed Alipay, their equivalent of PayPal. Users could contact manufacturers in rural China directly through Taobao. To put pressure on eBay, who was attempting to generate returns for its investors as quickly as possible, Alibaba made Taobao free for 3 years. The Alibaba strategy worked well. The market share of Alibaba increased while eBay's decreased during the ensuing years. eBay is a shark in the ocean, Jack Ma reportedly told his staff. We inhabit the Yangtze River like a crocodile. We shall lose if we engage in sea battle. However, we will win if we battle in the water. Final quote. Maybe everything was already in place for a Chinese corporation to dominate the e-commerce industry. With a population of over 1 billion, China was attempting to revive its once vibrant economy. The core and soul of the Chinese economy were manufacturing hubs known as Taobao villages scattered around the nation. China is the world leader in manufacturing because to its affordable labor costs. Although Alibaba didn't exist at the time, Jack Ma and the business undoubtedly benefited from China's emergence as a manufacturing power. The only thing left to do was for Alibaba to use the internet to introduce China to the rest of the world. eBay would eventually halt its activities in China after realizing they were powerless to continue fighting. China was the crocodile's domain with Alibaba, therefore the crocodile had the upper hand. However, one must wonder how huge Alibaba really is. Alibaba had its IPO following the eBay conflict, revisiting the goals it had before the internet crisis. The corporation raised $25 billion in its first public offering IPO when it ultimately listed on the New York Stock Exchange. How big is Alibaba then? Its $44 billion market cap places it as the 7th largest publicly listed firm in the world. It boasts a staff of more than 1,000 workers and a roster of subsidiaries that justifies its size. The major engine of the firm is e-commerce. As was already established, Alibaba is the owner of Taobao, AliExpress, and Alibaba.com. In addition, the firm has expanded into supermarkets, delivers food to customers, and has partnered with hotel chains to enter and dominate the travel consumer market. They have bought a portion of rivals, including the Singaporean online retailer Lazada. Not to mention their acquisition of Yahoo China. They introduced Alibaba Cloud, a cloud computing platform targeted at the e-commerce industry, in 2009. Additionally, they bought Hi China, the biggest web server in China, and integrated it into their Alibaba Cloud service. Alibaba Cloud also works in the hardware industry, creating innovative techniques and AI accelerators that are used to boost the efficiency of AI algorithms on hardware. The business launched their own AI chip for cloud computing in 2019. Some machine learning operations reportedly take less than a minute to complete. Most of the procedures would be available for rent through Alibaba Cloud in only 5 minutes. Additionally, cloud computing is an intriguing area for the business to enter. Personal gadgets will place more of a focus on hardware processes that may be rented online as internet speeds rise. Additionally, the business controls the financial technology market. And Financial, a subsidiary firm, offers financial services to small and micro businesses. With a value of $150 billion, and Financial is actually the most valuable unicorn in existence. A company is considered a unicorn if its valuation exceeds $1 billion while it is still privately held. 1 billion individuals use Alipay, an Ant Financial subsidiary that was stated earlier, to make mobile payments. Alibaba has also entered the entertainment industry, establishing a division with a number of divisions, including live entertainment, ticketing, and content development. For more than $800 million, the business bought the bulk of China Vision Media Group in 2014. The company was then called Alibaba Pictures Group. Following this, they introduced Ali Music, which streams music from major labels like Sony and Universal in collaboration with Tencent. Other industries like Ali Health and Ali Sports, which are significant players in their own right, are not mentioned in any of this. The South China Morning Post, a more than 100-year-old media organization with its headquarters in Hong Kong, off the Chinese mainland, was purchased by Alibaba. Alibaba presently invests in startups across China and regularly buys new businesses in addition to all of these endeavors. They also made commitments to use technology to further philanthropic and humanitarian causes in 2019. The CEO Jack Ma would leave in September 2019. He disputes rumors that the Chinese government exerted pressure on him, noting that his current goal is to assist others. He also began various efforts in 2019. One program annually awards $1 million to 10 African business owners for innovative and promising concepts. The other project is a $40 million fund established to support Tibet's educational growth. Like Jack Ma, Alibaba's history started off in obscurity. Undoubtedly, the organization is full with intelligent individuals, but the culture of unwavering resolve to win that their boss has instilled may be the key to their success. No matter how modest and sincere the business may have been in the past, there's no disputing that the Alibaba of today is a titan. The company's acquisitions and future positioning would scare off potential rivals. Maybe there would be some antitrust cases if the corporation was American, but I suppose there are distinct restrictions in China for Chinese citizens. It's challenging to envision a world without Alibaba given their numerous investments. It's quite an astonishing tale how a once tiny firm that started out in an apartment and was the brainchild of an English teacher, who had failed repeatedly throughout his life, eventually overcame the Silicon Valley behemoths and made himself $35 billion in the process. It sort of proves that, if you have the correct vision and put in the necessary effort, you can succeed regardless of the setbacks your history has brought you. I'm glad you could make it. If you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. If you know someone who may be interested in the topic, please free to forward this video to them. Anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you for the upcoming video.